Is it too much to have control over our own lives? Apparently in Great Depression too it is. And I deal with some ways of getting out of the Great Depression, and the way out, you can find a reference to that below. But what I want to mostly talk about is how we are able to get the way out implemented. Because a lot of people will say, well, the reason why you don't have control of your lives is people in power. They don't want it to happen. And that might be true. There's certain evidence to indicate that it is. But what does that gain us? Are we able then to wrest power from the powerful? Oh, we're supposed to have a revolution. Well, how's that going to work? How are we going to fight a military force with a variety of ultimate weapons at their disposal? And what's at our disposal? Not a whole lot. No, that's not going to be the way to do it. And it's confusing the issue, which is that we want to have power for ourselves. We don't want to have power over others. It's different kinds of power. And so a more reasonable approach is to convince the people that have the power, particularly the ones that have it on a temporary basis, that's in their interest after they've had their stay of authority, their particular time in power, to be able to come back to that, to their own lives, and have control over their own lives, and not be manipulated by other people. And so that's really the strategy that I've been attempting to pursue as far as getting the way out implemented. So I have a book, and you can see the notes down below there about how to get it. And you can get that on Amazon. Now I set it up so that it's only available on Amazon. It's only available as an ebook, which is the reason why. Amazon keeps track of the sales of the particular book. Free downloads don't count. It's really just the sales. If I make a lot of money for Amazon by selling the book, Amazon's going to not only give me my cut of that, but it will also show that it's actually been purchased, that it's got a high ranking, not a rating. That's the thing that you individually might put in for the book, but it has a high ranking, and it shows up on their bestseller lists. And when it does so, it shows that that particular idea is out there. The ideas in the book, and there's no assurance that people will actually read the book and have those ideas, but there's the likelihood that they do, and that's sufficient. If enough people buy the way out, then the politicians, the ones that are in power for a term, or however many terms, know that the people know. They know that they can't get away with their usual strategy of pitting one side against the other, Democrats and conservatives, and calling each other Republicans and liberals, and doing a subterfuge and so on, and confusing the issue and getting everybody all worked up about this issue or that issue. Has nothing to do with you getting control over your own lives. So they can't ignore it, though. When it comes in, they see that on Amazon, it's a suddenly a bestseller work, then they have to pay attention to it. When they pay attention to it, then they're more likely to implement it. In fact, they're pretty much constrained to implement it, because once it's out there, then the news media can't ignore it anymore, and it's becomes into the public debate, and then more and more people know about it, more and more people buy it as well, and it snowballs to the point where they have to make a decision. Do I go with the people and implement the way out, or do I try to hold on to my still very temporary hold on power and limited degree of power in order to not have people have their own power, and possibly then of course diminish mine, because I don't, as a politician, they would be reduced somewhat in their power, because they would not have control over the rest of us. But that's really a no-brainer for a politician. They're not going to get into office again if they're known to be trying to wrest power from the people, or not give it to them in a clear way that's good for all. And so then it would actually get implemented, and we would get that modest little amount of power, control over our own lives, that should not be all that unreasonable. So that's the strategy. I hope that some of you pick up on that. Buy the way out. Spread it around to your friends. Read it, of course. Get the information out there, because it shows how we can remove the chains of debt that are constraining us all, and getting our economy moving again. And that's sort of the first step. And after that, it becomes a lot easier for us to establish a more permanent and complete measure of control over our own lives, not only as individuals, but as families, as communities, as villages and cities, and so on. So that's the game plan. That's what we're trying to do here. And I hope you can join with this effort, and join with me in this effort. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.